Hello. I have a really huge, like barely can even hold it, book haul. Hello and welcome to my channel. I know I don't post on here that often, but I have a little book haul that I wanted to share with you, and let's just get into it. I actually got most of these books for Christmas and my birthday, and I thrifted some, and then I think 2 were from my book of the month subscription. I am born in January, and January is very close to Christmas, so I got a lot of books. I'm gonna try to run through them as concisely as possible. So the first book I got, I thrifted it for about $3, and it's Jhumpa Lahire's Unaccustomed Earth. I love Jhumpa Lahire's writing. I actually studied her in my creative writing course in university, and I just recently reread Interpreter of Maladies. I have the namesake, so I just picked this one up because I really love her writing and I find it to be so engrossing. I don't know what it's about. It says, these 8 stories by beloved and best-selling author Jhumpa Lahire take us from Cambridge and Seattle to India and Thailand as they explore the secrets of family life. Unaccustomed Earth subtly renders the most intricate workings of the heart and mind. But if I know anything about Jhumpa Lahire, I know that she has really strong characters, really fresh stories, and really I feel like her writing is very melodic and always invokes different senses for me, especially taste and smell. The next book I got for my birthday. It is Brown Girls by Daphne Palissy Andreades, I think. And this is a debut novel, and I was really drawn to it because, I saw it all over Instagram, to be honest, but it's set in Queens, New York, and it uses the collective we, and it just follows different girls from different immigrant backgrounds as they come of age in American culture. And I am really just interested to see how this debut author is able to really captivate an audience without focusing in on one character's story, but using a collective story. So excited for this Brown Girl. So I also got Eileen. I did get this for my birthday as well, by Otessa Moshfegh. I actually just read Otessa Moshfegh's Death in Her Hands, which many people did not like, but I quite enjoyed it. I found it to be so chilling. And then I saw a lot of people recommend Eileen. And this is basically a story about Eileen Dunlop, a young woman trapped between her role as her alcoholic father's caretaker in a home whose squalor is the talk of the neighborhood, and her day job as a secretary at the boys' prison, filled with its own horrors. I expect this to be incredibly creepy, which is what I like when I want to read something. So excited for Eileen. I also love the cover. So of course for Christmas I did ask for Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sally Rooney. I have never in my entire life read a Sally Rooney novel. I've heard lots of mixed reviews about Sally Rooney's writing and about Normal People, but when I tell you I quite liked Beautiful World, Where Are You? I did about these 4 friends, and we're following them in their late 20s to early 30s and following the way that they navigate life, sex, and relationships and work, and how they come to terms with an impending climate crisis and the rise of fascism. It's just, there's no real plot, it's really just vibes, but I did like it. And again, another one, that cover I love. This made me actually more intrigued to read Sally Rooney's earlier works, because I was turned off from reading her because I heard not great things about her books, even though they're widely acclaimed books, but I just heard a lot of not so great things. The other book I got for my birthday was The School for Good Mothers by Jessamine Chan. This is a dystopian narrative, dystopian fiction that explores motherhood, parenthood, surveillance, things like that. And basically the main character in this book, she forgets her child at home one day for 2 hours. She's taken into the police station, and she loses custody of her daughter. And the way that she has to earn her custody of her daughter back is by going to the School for Good Mothers, a school for mothers that the state has deemed to be unfit to parent and they need to be retrained. Deeply uncomfortable book. I actually just finished this last night. Deeply uncomfortable, deeply sad, just really uncomfortable. Another book I got for my birthday is Cultish by Amanda Montell. This is a non-fiction, basically going into detail and trying to explore what makes cults so intriguing. Why do people join cults? So I actually am really excited to read this book. I heard a lot of good reviews, a lot of rave reviews, and I also listened to the author on a podcast, and I really enjoyed listening to what she had to say about different cultish things in our everyday society. So excited about this one. The Housekeeper and the Professor by Yoko Agawa. This is one of the books that I thrifted. And basically this math professor is basically forgetting things after a traumatic injury. So he only has 80 minutes of short-term memory, and he's being taken care of by a housekeeper and his 10-year-old son. And every single day they have to reintroduce themselves to the professor. I don't really know much more about it than that, but it's supposed to explore relationships and memory, and I'm actually doing a buddy read with my friend with this one. My next book I thrifted as well is 1,000 Splendid Suns by Khaled Hosseini. He is the author of The Kite Runner. It's a very famous book. I never read it. I've never read any of Khaled Hosseini's pieces, so I'm really excited about this one. As much as I know about this is that it is... Why don't they put the summaries at the back of books anymore? I have no idea what this is about. The other book that I got was Shogi Bane by Douglas Stewart. This won the Booker Prize in 2020. No. This was shortlisted for the Booker Prize in 2020. And basically it's set in a public housing unit in Glasgow, Scotland in the 1980s, and follows a childhood of Hugh, who is taking care of his beloved mother Agnes. It's apparently very deeply sad and dark, but it's a portrayal of a working class family, a queer childhood, addiction, sexuality, love, etc., etc. I really do want to read this, but I feel like I need to be in like the proper headspace to do so. Waiting till I'm in that headspace. The other book I got is Olga Dies Dreaming by Xochitl Gonzalez. This is a debut author, a Caribbean author, and this is one of my book of the month picks. And basically it's set in between Puerto Rico and New York, in this gentrifying Latinx neighborhood in Brooklyn. It has a lot to do with gentrification, political corruption, what it means to pursue the American dream as a Puerto Rican. So excited about this one. My other book of the month pick was Black Cake by Charmaine Wilkerson, another debut author, another Caribbean author. So I'm really excited about Black Cake. It's supposed to be this intricate narrative of family history and what inheritance means and what does it mean to unearth these family secrets. So I'm excited about Black Cake as well. This is another book that I got for my birthday. It's called Cairo Circles by Doma Mahmood. And I'm not really sure what it's about. Someone recommended this to me, and I was like, I want this for my birthday, and I got it, thank God. But it's set between New York and Cairo, and I think the main character is living in New York City and exploring what it means to be independent from their family back in Cairo. But I think it actually follows 6 young Egyptians whose lives dramatically intertwine over the course of 2 decades. So I think I really love that multi-character type of narrative. So I'm excited for Cairo Circles. Almost done. I thrifted V.S. Naipaul's Miguel Street, classic Trinidadian author, classic Trinidadian novel, never read it. And it's basically set in a slum of Trinidad, and it kind of chronicles this character who decides to run for public office, and it's set during World War II, and I really don't know exactly what the story goes, but that's kind of the overarching theme of this book. I was also gifted Emergent Strategy by Adrienne Marie Brown, and this is like a book I've seen floating all over the internet for the last like 3 years, and I think it's a nonfiction. And it's a kind of like a radical self-help book, but in a way that challenges social structures and really talks about how we can change and shape our world, so I'm excited about this one. Last two books, I got this thrifted as well, Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None. Classic mystery, the world's #1 selling mystery. I feel like this needs no real explanation. Lastly, I was given Season of Migration to the North by Tayeb Saleh. And yeah, I really don't know what it's about, but I also was given this as a recommendation. But I do know that it is a piece of Arabic literature, so I'm excited to explore that. Those are all the books that I got in the past month. I want to reiterate that most of those books were gifted to me by friends and family for Christmas and my birthday, and I thrifted the others, and then 2 were my book of the month subscription books. So yeah, just to keep that clear, I could in no way afford to buy all those different books. So I'm really grateful to my friends and family for giving me these books.